What's up? I'm Steven Krukenberg.
I'm Will.
And this is the Post P Chronicles. Welcome back to episode 2. And Will, what do we got today?
Man, we got something real special for you guys today. I would love to introduce you to somebody real close to me, man. This is my brother. He's a great man, great guy. This is Morgan Knight. Morgan, man, how you doing?
I'm blessed, man. I'm glad to be here.
And what brought you here today?
Well, I just got out of prison. I did 23 years, and trying to establish my life.
So you just did 23 years in prison. So tell us about what were the events earlier in life that led up to you getting those 23 years in prison?
Well, I think it all started probably about 12 years old, man. About 12 years old. My mom went to prison. I was living with my uncle at the time. No, my grandfather. Sorry about that. Living with my grandfather at the time. And it was just too much structure. And I was at a stage of rebellion, you know? And I was already, like, acting like I was in a gang. You know, I used to call wannabes. Like, you a wannabe. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. I was like one of them little wannabes because all my cousins was banging and they were getting away with all the trouble. You know what I'm saying? When I used to go over their house on the weekend, we could stay out all night. We could go sneak and smoke weed. But when I went home, it was no, bueno.
Easy.
When you say too much structure, what's that mean?
Meaning, like, you know what I mean? You got to be in the house certain time. We had chores. You know what I'm saying? You was going to school. You was going to church. All that. I wasn't feeling that. You know, pre-teenager.
Not at
like,
12.
Nah.
Not at all.
And then what did your mom end up going to prison for?
Oh, my mom went to prison for bank robbery. She went to prison for bank robbery when she was pregnant with me. Like, I think she got to prison probably like late 1979. February 22nd, 1980. I was born Riverside County, Corona to be exact. Some hospital in Corona and whatnot. 3 days after my birth, my grandfather came up, took custody of me, adopted me, and became my legal guardian. So I wouldn't go into the system. But like I say, going back to my upbringing, I started running the streets at a young age, man, and got involved in crime. I committed my first crime when I was probably about 13. I robbed a 7-Eleven. It was probably like 4 or 5 of us. We went in there, waving the gun around, got $200 and a couple of donuts. Went to juvenile hall. You know what I'm saying? And that first trip to juvenile hall, man, was the nosedive of my life. You know
Let me
what I'm
ask
saying?
you a question. How'd you feel when you committed that first crime?
Oh, man, it was like a euphoric feeling. Like, you got a rush of excitement, like, oh, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is nothing. You know what I'm saying? This is how it is. And that's where the addiction, the cycle of addiction and crime becomes prevalent in your life. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, you don't think about getting caught because I ain't been getting caught. I'm finna, you know what I'm saying? Right. You're going to keep doing it how you do it. So I went to juvenile hall, man, and I stayed in juvenile hall for about a month. Got out. I was on probation. And once they get their claws in you, it's cookies. It's over.
So Will just said, how'd that feel? So at that point, you also, I'm not a wannabe anymore. So now I got some credibility.
See, like, being that my mom was from my neighborhood and my dad was from my neighborhood, like, I really was never a wannabe. But I was living outside of my hood at the time when I was trying to be a gang member. Like, I'm living in Encanto, but I'm banging this. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't have to get jumped in because, like, my parents from over there, all my cousins. So, like, once I moved to my grandmother's house, I was there every day. So now I'm like a sandbox guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, we doing everything together. The people we play baseball with, play football with, went to the gym, went to the rec to get free lunches during the summer because we couldn't have nothing to eat at home. You know what I'm saying? Those were our buddies. We built the camaraderie, man, and we started to do everything together. You know what I'm saying? So, like I'm official from where I'm from. You know what I'm saying? But, like, those certain insecurities that you have as a kid, like, I know what I got going on at home, and what I got going on at home ain't what's going on here. That's what make you feel like you want to be like, man, I'm over here posturing, posing.
You in juvenile hall. Mm-hmm. You just committed the crime. What happens after that? You get out. What's your life looking like?
Oh, man, I was wearing that like a badge of honor. You know what I'm saying? Now you can't tell me nothing. I've been in jail. You know what I'm saying? So, like, some homies out there, like, that's your age, they ain't been in jail. So you like, bro, like, stand back, man. In your mind, you like, you better than them. Like, I've been in jail, boy. You out here, you ain't doing nothing. He's out here hanging out, doing nothing, smoking weed, just getting drunk, just hanging out. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that attitude right there, it just seeped into who I was, and it created like a demon, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like a demon.
That's crazy, man. So, I mean, obviously, I can empathize with you. I've been through the same thing. So, this is 12, 13. So, fast forward. You know, obviously, your crimes get worse and worse. Yeah. So, now you're 17, 18. What's your life starting to look like now?
Okay, so I was in and out of juvenile hall from like 12 all the way to 18. So, scratch that, 13 to probably 18. In and out, bro. Like, I was in and out. Like, man, they knew my name. They knew my face, my name, everything. Like, they was greeting me like they was my cousins, aunties, or whatever.
It was their coworker.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. I had so much juice in the hall, bro, because I was a regular, man, that, like, you know what I'm saying? They come in, I'd be an IBR. You know, we go to IBR reception. Right. Hey, well, you in here? Oh, yeah, we're going to make you an 80 worker. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going around feeding everybody. You know what I'm saying? I got the pluses job.
You're there that much.
Yeah, because I'm there that much. They doing that to keep me out of trouble.
It's funny.
You
know some CEOs, they're like, man, we've raised these kids since 12 to 18 more than their parents.
Yeah.
Because they're in here so often.
Exactly. So I ended up going to camp. I committed assault. You know what I'm saying? With a weapon. Ended up going to camp. They gave me a year in camp. So I went to camp right there, Rancho del Campo.
Tell people what the camp is.
Camp is a juvenile ranch facility, JRF, juvenile ranch facility. It's outside Alpine, Descanso, so like out there in Campo, California. I ended up going to camp, and I did a year right there. Did the whole year. You know what I'm saying? And watched the whole camp flip, people going and coming, like, man, you still here? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because I had the longest stay that was, you know what I'm saying, for an inmate to be afforded to be there. So I did that year. I got out when I was 18. April. By August, I was in the county jail fighting an adult case right here in South Bay. You know what I'm saying? I did a carjacking. Me and my cousin. He's now deceased. We did a carjacking in East San Diego, man. And ended up going to county jail for that. And spent 6 months in the county. Took a 5-year joint suspension. You know how to give you the little joint suspension. Suspend your prison time.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
So, during the story, obviously it seems like your crimes are progressively getting worse.
Oh, yeah.
Getting worse.
Oh, yeah.
How are you being perceived at this time? Because obviously, if you're doing worse crimes, you're getting more recognition. You're no longer a wannabe. You know, you're almost, you know, like, how are your crimes being received?
Like, you're a factor, bro. You know what I'm saying?
How do you feel?
How do I feel?
How are you feeling at this time?
A false sense of honor.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm feeding into the love that I'm getting. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm getting love from my older homies, like, you know what I mean? Like, they embracing you.
Right.
Your older homies, like, they usually don't mess with us. You know what I mean? They leave the little cats to what they do. But if they see you out there doing what you do, they embrace that. So, like, I'm feeding into that. You know what I'm saying? It's building my ego, you know? And you get that so-called label. Oh, he a rider. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I know that one.
So, 1 year in camp, 6 months in jail, county jail. Obviously, you said your honor, false badge of honor is growing. No point are you like, what am I doing when you get locked up? You're like, it's part of the program, right? It's what I do. It's
part of the street life, man. Like, there was a point in time I got a friend, man. I'm not gonna say his name, real good friend, and we used to sit in our neighborhood, man. But like, man, I can't wait to go to prison. And we used to be like, why? Like, man, I want to go up there, buff, get swole, get my back arm tatted, come out. You know what I'm saying? You'll be a big homie. That's what we used to glorify. That's what we used to look forward to.
Yeah.
If that tells you anything right there, in that statement right there, that should be everything you need to know.
I had friends that they go to prison, they clean up, they get all buff because they get off drugs in prison, they start working out, they get all buff, they get back to the streets, get all skinny. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no problem. I'll just go back to prison, start working out, and get big again.
Because we see them dudes get out. Yeah. We see them dudes get out. The dudes we were looking up to as kids, they fresh out. Gleaming, big old black guys. You know what I'm saying? Buff as hell. You know what I'm saying? And they telling us prison stories. But they not telling us
the bad
the
parts,
intricate, the intangibles, the riots, the racism, the segregation.
Locked in a cage.
The black man in prison, public enemy number one. We are everybody in there's enemy. Whites, Mexicans, Asians, staff, our own enemy. We fight each other.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they never told us that.
You just see a buff guy running the streets with some...
That's it.
Everyone wants to be like...
Yeah.
All right, so Yeah, so man, obviously, like you said, it's getting worse, and you're getting that false sense of everybody's loving
Yeah.
you. The crimes you're doing is getting all the love. It's not the good things you're doing. It's the bad things you're doing.
Right.
Period.
Right.
So now let's fast forward to what got you the 23 years in prison.
Okay, so like I said, I did the 6-month county lid, right, for the carjacking. I got out. It was around maybe like late summer, 1998, and I'm out, man, doing what I'm doing, selling little drugs, whatnot, man. But it ain't coming. The money ain't coming how it's supposed to. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody got the drug sack. So I'm like, man, I'm finna hit me a lick, bro.
What's a lick?
A lick is
For people who don't know.
a lick. You know, you finna go do a robbery.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm finna go stick somebody up real quick. And so I followed through with that plan. I had a cat, man, that I had been scoping for a minute, and pretty well known drug dealer, whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And I went over to his spot, man, and knocked on the door. He kicked that thing in, and you know what I'm saying?
You ain't gotta kick the table though,
You
bro.
know what I'm saying? I kicked the door in, man. My fault. I got a little into it right there. You know what I'm saying? But nah, man, I kicked the thing in, man. Waved the gun around. You know the demands and
Right.
commands you give, and did what I did. Got what I came to get, and was on. It was a successful lick. Never in a million years though did I think the police was gonna be called.
Let me ask you. You just said $200 and some donuts for the 7-Eleven, right?
Yeah.
And obviously the consequences that came with it. What did you get for this?
Oh man, it was well worth it. It wasn't worth the 23 years.
But what did you get in your mind that made it worth it at the time?
Oh man, it was some racks. It was some racks. Yeah. Definitely.
Do y'all
On
like
top of some other things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but we not gonna say it was worth because it definitely wasn't.
Yeah, that's
worth
what I'm saying.
You know
It wasn't worth.
It definitely wasn't worth it
Okay, the mindset that I was in at that time,
at that time.
it was
Right.
worth it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But once I got arrested and them handcuffs I put on me, I'm like, damn, bro.
So real quick question, because obviously the audience may not know. You robbed another gang member, a rival gang member?
Yeah.
So
not a rival.
a rival.
Not a rival.
Another gang member?
Yeah.
So other gang members call police on gang members?
I mean, hey, this one did.
That's why I'm asking. You don't see that every day.
Yeah, you do.
You don't. And I'm gonna give
Or you don't hear about it every day, right?
And I'm gonna share something with you about that, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna be direct. Like, I was from where I was from. Like, I was loved where I was from. You know what I'm saying? And for this guy to not be an official member of where we from, just a claimer, like he comes around, you know what I'm saying, occasionally when it's suitable for him and he has protection, for him to do what he did and for nobody to go be like, hey bro, don't go to court on the homie. You know what I'm saying? Or keep this other person from testifying on the homie. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I'm asking. That's just usually
Yeah.
settled on the streets, right?
Right.
It's supposed to be.
It's supposed to be, but like that right there in itself, like when only one person, one of my homies stood up. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, man, don't worry about it, bro. I just knocked my time out. But I said that to say that showed me where the loyalty was. You know what I'm saying? If you got money in the hood and people can leech off you and further advance their agenda, you safe.
And so this guy had money, obviously.
Oh,
That's why
yeah.
you robbed him.
Of course.
Lots of that.
You know what I'm saying? Lots of money. You know what I'm saying?
And everyone just kind of turned a blind eye.
Yeah, man, I'm sitting in prison, Steve, bro. I'm sitting in prison. I'm getting pictures from my homies, like, from picnics, parties, hood days. This fool in them. I'll go back, I can show you. He in them.
And this is the same crew that you were gangbanging with that you thought was
Some of the
always on
same
your side.
dudes that I grew up with, bro. Like, man, you my boy. You know what I'm saying? And, then we hug each other and tell each other we love each other. You know what I'm saying?
The
Yeah.
same ones that you would kill and die for.
Man, bro.
The same ones you thought would do the
Same
same for
ones
you.
that I went on missions with. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro.
One of the things I used to tell, and I've talked to Will about this before, when I'd be sitting down with people in prison or juvenile hall, like counseling them or praying with them, I'm like, dude, these aren't your homies. Like, what are you talking about? Like, where are they right now?
Yeah.
Have they called? Have they visited? No, they don't care about you.
No.
You were expendable to them.
And then what's even
That's
crazier,
exactly it.
when I made the decision to be like, man, I'm cool, these same homies, oh man, you tripping. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay. It just put everything else even into perspective for me more. You know what I'm saying? Like, I sacrificed my life from the age of 12 until the age of 42, man. You know what I'm saying? In and out of prison. You know, no kids, bro. You feel me? Like, didn't go to high school. You know what I'm saying? Didn't get the experience that everybody else out here that was living a life designed by society's, you know what I'm saying, perception was living. I didn't get those experiences. Why? Because I made choices in my life. I don't fault nobody else, but I made the choices. But at the end of the day, it just showed that there's no loyalty. None whatsoever.
So fast forward, you in prison, you got the time, 23 years. You know, how's that? What's that looking like?
Oh, man. Man, my first 14 years in prison, you hit the ground running, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you're gangbanging on the streets. Now you're in prison amongst many other gang members, not just from your city. You know what I'm saying? From LA, Bakersfield, Fresno, every city in California, Bay Area, you know what I'm saying? Sacramento, Stockton, you know, everything in between. You know what I'm saying? So you in there, now you have to create a reputation for yourself inside the walls.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What you do on the street don't matter no more. That don't matter. They don't care what you're doing. What you do, it's about what you do. What can you do for me today? Mm-hmm. That's the mentality in prison. So,
which prison were you?
My first prison, I went to High Desert.
Okay.
High Desert State Prison, Susanville, level 4, 180. It's a yard full of lifers, right? Mind you, I'm 19 years old, bro. I don't have life. So the mentality of dudes that I was around were very, very animalistic.
They're in there for life, obviously.
Yeah, man. Like, you have to match their level of violence. You know what I'm saying? Just to be able to survive in there.
And at that time, life meant life.
Life meant life back then, bro. I went to prison in the 90s. You feel me? And, like, I got caught up into some politics. And because I had met an older homie, always heard about him. You know what I'm saying? The same fake glorifying that we were getting, I was giving him. But it was real, though. And he used my loyalties against me. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, spit some words out, and I end up stabbing somebody, you know, a Hispanic cat, and, you know, put my life on the line again. Once again, my life is on the line.
Just to build up credibility.
Yeah. Now I got a hit on me. You feel me? I'm in the shoe. I'm in Asseg. From Asseg, I go to the shoe.
Shoe. Segregated housing unit.
Yeah, security housing
23-hour lockdown.
Yeah, sometimes 24.
Sometimes.
You know what I'm saying?
You sit in your room 24 hours and they feed you under the door, or what?
Under the door.
Just kidding.
No,
we got tray slots.
We got tray slots, man.
Right to the slots and you're in there 24 hours?
You know what I'm saying? But it's like, I'm back there, and these Hispanic, you know, gang members, they're keeping tabs on me, seeing where I'm going. You know what I'm saying? But I'm still doing me, bro, because I ain't no sucker. You know what I mean? But I said it to say, the dude that was supposed to do it with me, he didn't even do it. I end up doing it, right? Now I'm sitting in the hole. I'm like, bro, I'm about to get struck out. Because I went to prison with 2 strikes. I had a weapon, and I assaulted somebody. That's life. The DA picked that up. You know what I'm saying? But why wasn't it at the forefront of my thoughts at that time? Because I had that mentality that I came from the street with. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think about this, what I just said right now, 2 years later.
Yeah.
When I was in the hole, I'm doing burpees, push-ups, reading books, studying. You know, I'm militant. Didn't think about, okay, I can go to court right here and get struck out.
Didn't care.
Didn't even care, bro. Yeah. That's how you know.
Didn't register.
You know what I'm saying? It didn't even register. That's how careless our mind was.
How warped our mind.
Warped sense of belief. It's a warped belief system. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't think like society thinks. You know what I'm saying? I call home, man, and they're like, why you in the hole? Oh, man, Mexicans trying to attack me. What they trying to attack you for? Oh, I said, what? You stabbed somebody. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? This is my family. Like, I'm like, bro. And mind you, right, when we did the stabbing, it was in the day room. I didn't get caught. Got away. Boom. See the knife under the homie cell. Boom. They pat us down because they didn't know. But you got all the Hispanics on the door. Like, he calling us N-words. Everybody riding on the door. So the cops like, oh, what the hell's going on? You know what I'm saying? So they lay the day room down, do the hand search and all that. Release us back to the cell. This happened Thursday night. So Saturday, I'm going to visit. My wife is coming. Right? And, but you already know what's happening. Soon as they let me out, bro, they sent like 4 Mexicans at me. But my cellie was out with me. So we, you know what I mean? We out there trying to protect ourselves. They got knives, all this stuff. So when I go to the hole, right? Initially we went to the hole for victims of a battery, because anytime it's multiple inmates on a lesser number of individuals, it becomes a battery.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So they giving us all the play in the world. Where you guys want to go? I'm like, I want to go to Centinela. You know what I'm saying? And anyway, bro, I get to the hole, and they're like, that's over with. We got some 1030 and a new 115 for you. I'm like, 1030, what's that? They're like, confidential disclosure form. I said, for what? They said, man, we got information saying that you was a participant in an inmate assault with a stabbing weapon on such and such in the day room on this day. Who only can say that? Mm-hmm. Your people, bro. Mm-hmm. You dig what I'm saying? Yeah. So them loyalties that are supposed to be intertwined because we have a same faction, belief system, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't supposed to tell. But being us on the confidential form and they can't put Steve's name on it, it's good, because I never know who it is.
So on the streets, boom, they've done you dirty.
Right.
In prison, boom,
right,
they've done you dirty. Right. But once again, you're not thinking about it that time, because you're just thinking about
the same thing.
Yeah. One thing, I've talked to Will about is, a lot of things society, they're like, oh, these prisoners, they're just terrible people. But your mindset isn't, I'm going to break the law. It's, I got to do what I got to do to survive. Yeah. Right? Yeah. And you're not in consequence, pros and cons mode, weighing stuff out. Yeah. You're like, I'm in survival mode 24/7. Whatever. I got to stab someone. I got to rob a 7-Eleven. I got to get money from this armed robbery. Yeah. No point are you like, oh, there might be consequences.
Yeah. And no point you're like, hey, man, I'm going to fill out an application, man, see if I can get a job.
Yeah.
That never comes up, bro. Never. You know what I'm saying? Because there's nobody around us as a role model for us to look at like that. Right. Every person we looked up to, bro, was doing the same thing that we were doing, but on a higher scale. You feel what I'm saying?
You're trying to get to that.
And you're trying to get there. Everybody want a ball, man. For the summer, you want your little Chevy or whatever you want to flip. You know what I'm saying? So like, you just trying to get to that point to where like it's cowboys and Indians. You know what I'm saying? Everybody trying to beat each other. You know.
That's good.
Yeah. So you in the hole. You got a shoot term. You said the DA pick it up. What's that?
No, the DA don't pick it up.
The DA doesn't.
Don't pick it. I get blessed.
Okay.
Don't pick it up. I did the shoot term. I did 24-month shoot. So I'm back there in the shoe, and that stabbing, bro, gave me, what's the name?
Credibility.
So back then we had group yards in the hole. You know what I'm saying? They separate you by Bloods, Crips, Southerns, Whites. You know what I'm saying? Others, Northerners. Northerners used to go to yard with the Crips. You know what I'm saying? So I'm on Crip yard. I'm running the routine. I'm running the roll call. You feel me? Like, I got that badge of honor. Now, you know what I'm saying? So now you have to carry yourself.
Routine being the workout.
Routine, because everybody's coming to me now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So on the yard, you're the man in charge.
And AdSeg. In AdSeg. Not on the yard. But in AdSeg, it's a different mentality. So anything that go out to the yard, we send out, comes to me, I send out. Anything comes back, comes to me, and I get it to Will, whatever the case may be. That's how it was back then.
Right.
So how you feeling at that point? You got a little power in prison and respect.
Yeah. I'm in the shoe. You know what I'm saying? Everything that comes with, you know what I'm saying, the prison notoriety, I'm attaching to my belt. I got the stabbing. I got the shoe turn. You know what I'm saying? I'm running the...
Checking the boxes.
Yeah, because when you're in the AdSeg, right, it's a very small domain. You feel me? And you got whites, you got Hispanics, you got others, right? And we all do roll call. We all keep each other. We all communicate with each other. But they're watching who Will's calling to every day. Who all the blacks are calling to every day. Like, oh, yeah. So that's the... You know what I'm saying? So you get that recognition, not only from your people, but from the other people. You know what I'm saying? So that even right there blows your head up even more. You know what I'm saying? So when it's DPs happening, I'm like, hey, bro. You know what I'm saying? Got to get on.
What are DPs?
Discipline.
Yeah.
Because we had a lot of guys that would come back to AdSeg from the yard, and they don't want to work out. We used to have mandatory workouts back then.
Definitely.
Oh, you want to work out? You want to sleep all day? Huh? I mean, come to yard, man. We'll have a little meeting, man. We want to chop it up. Everybody got to come to the meeting, though. You know what I'm saying? Never in a million years, he didn't know the meeting on him, though. We done already had it. You just can come out there and get stomped out. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, it's like, it's a cutthroat world, man. You know what I'm saying? That a lot of that blood be on your hands. You feel me? So... It like I say, it was a very, very, very humbling experience, my prison experience.
So what age is so obviously 24 years when you're kind of doing the
23
roll call
years.
and 23 years.
Yeah.
You're doing the roll call and all that. What age are you at this
Oh,
point?
man, I'm like, at that time, I went to prison, I was 19, so I'm probably like 22, 23.
So you're getting all that power at 23,
Yeah.
all that notoriety.
Yeah, because I
You're
had a
feeling
celly. I had a celly from Long Beach. We were cellies. He left with the new corporate. His shoe was up. So I'm in the cell by myself. That everything was left to me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Now you mentioned something kind of fascinating. You really quick glossed over that a lot of people on the outside, even me, I was asking you the other day. You said you got married while you were in prison.
Right.
How do you meet someone and how does that turn into a full-blown marriage when obviously you're behind bars and they're living in the free world?
Oh, man, prison is not like, you know what I'm saying, the underworld. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
we're humans too, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we come from this world.
Right.
Yeah.
We just got, you know what I mean, placed in another
You
world.
just got sat down
We
somewhere.
just got sat down, you know what I'm saying, to where we're missed. But I say, so I got married, man, when I was like 21. You know what I'm saying? In prison. You know, relationships work in prison, you know, because everybody has emotions.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Some people can't help who they fall in love with. You know, you may fall in love with a Catholic woman. You know what I'm saying? You may fall in love with a Muslim woman. You know what I'm saying? A female might fall in love with a guy that's in prison. You know what I'm saying? The heart wants what the heart wants.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And some females, once they start feeling guys, no matter who he is, that's who they feeling. You know what I'm saying? And
I think it's more so. I think what you're talking about is more so how you get introduced.
Yeah, how do you
to
even
these
meet
women.
someone?
okay, so
Because obviously
I'm-
she's not in prison with you. How do you meet
yeah,
someone?
so I'm in the county jail, bro. I'm waiting to get sentenced. I think I was waiting to get sentenced, or I had just got sentenced. But my crimey, he had already went to prison. He signed a deal. He had went to prison, but he came back from reception for like a child custody or something. I'm like, boy, he ended up coming to my tank in George Bailey. So I'm like, oh, is that right? Okay, what's up, bro? How you doing? I'm low-key kind of mad at him because he got less time than I got. I'm like, how the hell that happened? We did the same thing, right? But I know why. But so he like, bro, I got this little female. Ooh, one of my homegirl's friends. I'm like, yeah. I said, I'll holler at her, bro, see what's up. You know what I mean? I said, bro, I'm finna go to pen and do this a long time, so I really don't wanna waste my time. So I end up hollering at her, woo, bam. She come visit me in the county, woo, bam. Then she ghosts me when I get to the pen. I'm like, oh, wow. So I'm going through some mail when I get to prison. I brought her back. I'm like, okay, man, you could at least say that. Hit me with the finger on the way out or something. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You just, you know what I mean? You did the old coward move, you know what I'm saying? And she like, no, it wasn't like that. I was just going through something. And then from that point on, when I got to prison, after I sent that letter, we were just, you know what I mean? It was what it was, bro. And probably about 2 years into it, man, she was like, she told me one day, bro, and this right here kind of made me like flex up a little bit, because she was like, what if I told you like we couldn't be together? I know I couldn't be faithful to you if we weren't married. I'm like, what? I said, so like you making me? I said, nah, man, I ain't finna be getting married like that. You know what I'm saying? So we went about that for a couple months, bro. And long story short, man, I ended up getting married. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, it was an experience.
So, do you buy a ring? Is there a pastor? Is it
Oh
signing
nah,
some
man,
paperwork?
you know
What's
what
going
I
on
mean? You
there?
gotta
How's
go through that.
look?
You go through the motions, man. You got to put into the chaplain on the yard. You understand me? And
She get the
marriage?
rings.
yeah. You know what I'm saying? You get the chaplain, man. You put the application in, man. Then they file for the marriage license or whatever county that you're in, prison you're in.
Bring your best man out.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I could bring Will out and Steve. You know what I mean? And you have your little ceremony. You pay like $150, whatnot. You know?
So, all right. So you did all of that.
Yeah.
You big dog for the next 14 years, 15 years, 16 years. Tell me what happened. What incident, if there was an incident that happened that caused you to reevaluate what was going on?
Well, for me, bro, like, you got to remember, like I said, bro, like, my life of crime started when I was like 12. You know what I'm saying? So that was decades. You know what I'm saying? Decades of experience.
That's all
You know what I'm
you know.
saying? And
Yeah.
I want to say, bro, it was like 2016, man. I was in Salinas Valley Prison. Me and my celly, man, I got into a altercation with a couple cats. And, yeah, man, I ended up going to the hole. And I wrote home. I'm like, yeah, man, I need some paper, stamps, stationery packet or whatnot. And no response. So I'm like, what? So I had to go to reserve tank. Hey, send me this. You know what I mean? But the person that I was expecting to send it to me didn't send it to me. So anyway, long story short, man, she ended up responding. She like, man, it's like you don't recognize the sacrifices that we make out here. You know what I'm saying? Because if you did, you wouldn't continue doing the things that you're doing in there. When you're in a hole, you can't call home. When I come visit, it's behind the glass. You know what I'm saying? When I do visit you, I can't hug you. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it's like, you don't get it. You know what I'm saying? And it was more said than that. I don't remember exactly, but I remember those important points right there that made me feel like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, what am I doing, dog? You know what I'm saying?
This was the wife that called you out, or who called you out?
My sister, bro.
Your sister.
You know what I'm saying? My sister. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, sheesh. You know what I mean?
Right.
Making every sacrifice for me. Never wanted for nothing, see? Never wanted for nothing, bro, in prison. If I didn't have it, because I didn't go buy it.
Man,
But I could have had it.
let me just say, that is not a small thing. Like, you think, well, you don't need a lot in prison.
Yeah.
I didn't stretch $100 for like 3-4 months.
Man.
So it's
Yeah.
the fact that you don't want for nothing is real
Yeah.
love, dedication. You
Yeah.
don't take those things for granted.
Man,
but that's what we did.
the drives from San Diego to whatever prison I was at, man.
Yeah.
You
All
know what
over
I'm saying?
California.
The motel
Visits.
rooms they spent for the weekend, bro. You know what I'm saying? Gas money coming to feed me for both days. Packages every quarter. Canteen every month. You know what I'm saying? All that, man. Those are sacrifices. And she's talking like, I put bills off to the side this month to make sure you got this.
Wow.
And then you don't do this. You want to go do this? You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, bro, what am I doing, bro?
How old are you at this point?
I'm 36.
It's kind of eye-opener for
Yeah,
you.
36. 36. Yeah, like I told you, it made me feel that big, man. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, yeah, this got to stop, bro. This got to stop.
What's your next step?
From
When you had that eye-opening, felt this small, had that conversation, what was your next step?
oh, yeah, man. So I didn't get out the hole, and I got transferred to Kern Valley. And, yeah, man, I had a conversation with my homies. Like, bro, I'm finna, focus on doing me. You know what I mean? I ain't punked the gang. You know what I'm saying? I ain't did no teaselling. None of that.
You do know what?
I ain't do no telling. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't punked the gang. I ain't never been a victim. You know what I'm saying? So I want to back away. You know what I'm saying? With my image intact.
So you built enough credibility to where now you can ease off the gas and no one's gonna.
Yeah, but you still got the naysayers. You still got the haters. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, like, I know when I go to sleep at night, I can rest easy with the decision I made. You know what I'm saying? They don't gotta accept it. They ain't living my life. You feel me? I'm living my life. I'm the one that missed out on a life because of my loyalties and the decisions I made, putting them and their needs first. You know what I'm saying?
Putting their needs before even your family.
Right.
So as you go through this change, you get like this great awakening. Like, this has all been BS.
Yeah.
All this stuff I've been living for
Yeah.
is for guys that would never do the same thing.
And in no way, man, I'm not here to bash that lifestyle because I was a part of that lifestyle, right? Me now, I don't agree with it. We're going to put it like that. You know what I'm saying? I just don't agree with it. I woke up, bro.
Right.
Bottom line. You know what I'm saying? But when I was a part of that, I was committed to it. But I see it for what it is now. It's not for me.
Well,
I'm not bashing them. Hopefully, at some point in time in their life, they see what we see.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
you can't tell them anything right now.
Nah.
They just got to figure it out.
Yeah, because like I did. You know what I'm saying? If there's a point in time in everybody's life, man, where you grow up. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully they get to that point.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot that didn't.
Before it's too late.
Before it's too late. Either it's just the only guarantees in gang banging more is prison or death, bro.
No in between.
Ain't no in betweens. And people out here dying every day because of that. We represent the streets, don't even belong to us, bro. The city can come take that street sign off that corner any day, anytime they want. Then what we gonna make? It'll no longer be 30th Street no more.
Still gonna be calling it the same thing though.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? But I'm saying that to say, like, don't none of that belong to us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But we're out here killing each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, for what, bro? Nah.
For what, right?
Nah.
You know what's something for me that you guys talked about earlier that's fascinating, right? You guys technically 10, 15 years ago would be at each other's throats on the streets. You guys would not be in the same room together. You guys would not be talking to each other. You guys would be fighting right now, right? 10, 15 years
We're a little
ago.
grown, so we probably wouldn't be fighting right now.
Yeah.
No.
But yeah.
But you guys are from
Definitely.
opposite sides
Definitely.
Yeah.
of the
Opposite
tracks,
sides tracks.
basically.
Well,
And
put it
you
like
guys would be
this.
rival gang
I
members.
wouldn't go out so far as say we would have been at each other's throats. But if I'd have walked past him and I seen him from the other side, I probably would have banged on him. He would have banged on me, and then that's where it go from there. Either it's like, I'm from whoop, or I'm like, all right, now what? All right, it's cool then. You know what I'm saying? Bam, we just going by the end. Or you can quick trigger and be like, nigga, whoop, F that. You know what I'm saying? And then you, yeah.
And I laugh now because you guys are like inseparable.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah,
good
yeah,
friends.
yeah,
You guys
yeah.
are always together, hanging
That's
out.
how
brother,
you know,
that's my
man.
bro right there,
That's how
man.
you know we grew up.
That, you guys
Yeah.
grew up. You're mature.
Yeah.
It's more so than like the street defines me.
Let me say something, Chris. Steve, sorry about that. Right? We don't have nothing to prove. There's nothing to prove. I know what I did. I know what I'm about. He know what he's about. You know what I'm saying? If they want to figure it out, that's on them. I'm living me, bro. I'm doing me. This is my boy. I don't even look at him from where he from. That's Will. They get on my nerves sometimes.
Just a little bit.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so fast forward, you get to Kern Valley, you talk to your homies, and you decide to step back. So what steps are you taking that you started to step back?
So the first step, man, was to put myself in a position, man, to gain marketable skills. And marketable skills are what we refer to in prison as developing the necessary work skills in prison that will enable you to experience some form of success out here. You know, so I started doing hospital grade cleaning, working in the central health, doing that. I did that for a few years, got certified and all that. Blood spill cleanup, hazmat removal, terminal cleaning, office grade cleaning, did all that. Also enrolled in college, Bakersfield College, correspondence, did that. Multiple self-help groups, drug classes. What's that we used to do? SAP?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, SAP.
Yeah.
They got criminal addictive thinking, cognitive behavior therapy, did all those. Everything you could think of, man, I was a part of.
Let me ask you something. Was there one class, one self-help group that really stood out to you?
One that stood out to me? Yeah. Victim awareness.
Tell me about that.
Victim awareness, the ripple effect is what really caught me, bro. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
What's the ripple
The
effect?
ripple effect, because like I can commit a crime against you and you become my victim, right? But me committing that crime takes me away from my family. Now I created that aspect of a victim. You know what I'm saying?
Not only
And
that.
then me.
Yeah.
You know
Not
what I'm
only
saying?
that, you have the victims that witnessed that crime.
Right.
You have the family of that victim.
Right.
You know, it's the city that had to pay for, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
it's so many victims
Yeah.
that created
That's why it's a
from
victim
one crime.
impact.
So your
It's a
one
ripple effect.
selfish action
Yeah.
creates this ripple effect that can that affects hundreds.
Yeah. Your community.
Possibly your entire
Every
community.
entire
You
community.
watch the news. Somebody
Yeah.
may be traumatized from what just happened on that news.
Because you got to remember, right? When I did that robbery, right? There were other people in the house that had nothing to do with the crime that weren't my intended victims. But they seen that gun and they heard us yelling. And they seen our aggression. They got to live with that for the rest of their life. They'll never
Traumatized
forget.
for
That's
life.
trauma. You know what I'm saying? That's trauma.
When it makes the news and then people in that neighborhood are
Yeah.
like, I'm not safe. This doesn't feel good here.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So who am I, man, to inflict that form of pain on somebody?
So many people.
So many people. That's why I am the way I am now. You know what I'm saying? Because I understand now. I've developed empathy.
Before it was, I just got to get mine.
Yeah, I was numb. I just didn't care. It's like there's no fancy word for me to put out there to describe it. I just didn't care, bro. I just didn't care. I didn't think about it.
So with how you live your life today, you said victim awareness. You're much more conscious of what you do and how it affects everyone else.
Exactly. Like my thing now, man, is I want to surround myself with good people. You know what I'm saying? Because they say you are a reflection of the company you keep. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll spend the rest of my life rewriting the narrative about who I am. You know? The person that I was when I went to prison is nowhere near who I am today. You know? But there's people that know me from back then, right?
All right.
That see that same person. But there's people that I meet today that see the new me, and I don't want them to see that old person. So every day I'm constantly working on who I am to better myself, to enhance that image.
Now, I got a question real quick. So the old people that knew the old you, are you even wasting energy on trying to show them the new you, or is it just, hey, it is what it is, I'm sorry that happened, I really apologize for my behavior?
Nah.
People aren't going to change what they think about me.
Man, listen. No. I don't even communicate with them.
It don't even matter.
It don't even matter,
from
bro.
that side.
Don't even matter.
Yeah.
I got a close-knit circle, man. Got a beautiful girl in my life, man. I'm working to try to gain, you know what I'm saying, some form of healthy relationship with her. But outside of her, man, like I spend a lot of time with her because she introduces me to things, man, that I've never, ever, ever experienced. I go to restaurants with this girl, man, like, she's like, where do you want to go? Like, what do you mean where I want to go? I don't know where to go. You know
McDonald's?
what I'm saying? Like,
Red Lobster?
Burger King? You know what I'm talking about?
Hey, everything's new to me.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like, man, I just did 20. She's like, oh, I keep forgetting about that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what do you want? Mexican pasta? Man, listen, whatever we want to eat, let's do it.
Everything.
You know what I'm saying? So those are the experiences that I want. You know what I'm saying? Those are memories, man, that are termed happy memories. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what's meaningful to me. When me and Will first got to the prom, what we used to do, bro? We used to walk everywhere.
We used to walk
everywhere. Just so we could see stuff, man.
See stuff.
We go downtown and we would walk everywhere.
Bro. Everywhere.
Man.
We didn't even have to.
They didn't even have to just walk.
Just
like,
walk,
man. Wait for the bus. That's out, man.
That's
I need
why
to see some stuff.
And we both have a little inside thing, like, bro. When we go walking, we ain't wearing no Vans.
No Vans.
We ain't wearing no Vans, bro, because they're too flat.
Need to put some arch support. There you go.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
All right, so you're doing the self-help groups. You're still in prison, 20 years, 21, 23 years. What happens? You out now. How did it happen?
Oh, so 2016, man, I made that conscious decision to be like, I'm cool. But it was rough for about a year. Still had a couple fights. You know what I'm saying? Because once you live a certain way for so long, you know what I mean? Certain aspects of who you are still there. You know what I'm saying? So I had a few fights. I worked in the kitchen. You know, like, oh, hold on, man, you taking all the cheese. You know what I'm saying? So we go ahead and squabble up in a little walk-in or whatever. So I got caught, had a 115. That was my last 115. That was 2017. So from 2017 to the time I came here, I was disciplinary free. So, and I got a pretty extensive disciplinary history.
What's
being
here?
in prison.
What's here? Like, how'd you get out?
To MCRP. That's
okay.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So
that.
I'm going to work one day, and my counselor was like, pulled me up like, hey, Knight. He's like, what you know about MCRP, man? I'm like, man, I knew everything about it. But I'm dumbing up on him like, I don't know, man. What you talking about, man? You know what I'm saying? Because you don't know what he getting at. You know what I'm saying? So you trying to lead him to the water. So he like, yeah, man, your name came across my desk from CC3, man. Saying that you're approved to go. If you want to go, man, I'll do the paperwork. I'm saying, man, listen, man, what you talking about? Yeah, I want to go. Who don't? I want to stay here and do the rest of my time here. Go man, I'm going to MCRP, bro. He was like, yeah. I'm sorry. He said, I'll get the paperwork started. So I went on to work. Man, I couldn't even focus that day. Man. I was so happy. I thought I was going to be leaving like the next week or something. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. They finally took me to committee, man. There was a warden there, man. It was a captain. And I think a chief deputy warden, man. And I'm going to give you the truth, man. Like, I've been through a lot in life. Been through a lot in prison. You know what I'm saying? When I went to that little committee, and it was like, man, they started reading off all the good that I was doing. Man, the college, you know what I'm saying, the working, the disciplinary free. Because when you doing that and you're in the process and nobody noticing it, it make you think like, bro, what the fuck am I doing? This shit ain't worth it.
What's the point of all this?
What's the point of this, right? Man, dude was like, hey, yeah, so we're going to go ahead and prove you for San Diego MCRP, bro. I dropped my head, bro, and I just went in tears, bro. Swear to God, bro. I was like, man. He's like, this really means something to you. I was like, hell yeah, man. After 20 plus years in prison, sheesh, I'm finally going home? Man, listen.
I know the feeling.
Man, listen, bro. I'm a man, bro, but I'm a man's man, bro. I cried in front of men.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? That's how much it meant to me, bro. Like, yeah. And that's why he do something. He's like, that's why I know you're going to do good, man, because I've never seen somebody come out and say, man, look, man, y'all did me a favor. I thank you. I can't thank you enough. Man, I skipped up out of the program office, bro. He's like, you want to go back to work? No. Nah.
Straight to the phone.
Yeah, so like I look back, man, I think it was the changes that I was making, you know what I'm saying, were finally being recognized. Because my name slid across his desk through a form of a fax, or email or whatever. However it came through, and my name was on that paper. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't even thinking about MCRP, bro. I was going to work, 8 o'clock, going to CTC every day I go. Normal routine.
You were just trying to get your life in order.
Furthest thing from I was just programming, man.
Yeah.
Just programming. You know what I'm saying? That was my program. And he pulled me over, man, and hit me with a jewel.
How much, before the MCRP, how much time did you have left?
I was getting out, I think, February next year.
Okay.
Yeah, I had probably about a year left.
You're just staying in your lane, doing your thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just programming, man. Because you got to remember, man, when I was in prison, I was selling drugs. You feel me? I got caught selling drugs. They gave me 4 years. You feel me? Didn't learn a lesson. Got caught with some drugs again. They gave me 2 more years. So mind you, I stabbed somebody. DA don't even pick it up. I get caught with some drugs. They heard and picked that up and spanked me for 4 years. You know what I'm saying?
So you did 6 years.
So I had 23 years for my sentence and 6 years from 2 cases that I picked up in prison, drug cases.
Should have been longer with the stabbing too, right?
Yeah, if they would have picked that up, I probably wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So those were the things like, bro, like I'm tripping. I'm supposed to have been home, Steve, man, 2018, what? Yeah, 18. Here we is going to 2023. I got out in 2022. That 4 years was because of that 6 years. Because I was at 80%. You know what I'm saying? So basically I had 6 years at 80%. Did 4 years. Extra. You know what I'm saying? But I can honestly sit here and say, bro, if I would have went home then, I was ready to go home because I wanted to go home, but I wasn't ready to go home.
You wasn't ready to stay out.
I wasn't ready to stay out, bro. Yeah. Put it like that. I didn't have the necessary tools that are needed. I didn't have the awareness that I needed the tools to stay out. I thought it was just a job and just have family, you be good. Nah.
So let's talk about those tools. What are the necessary tools you now have that's keeping you out?
Oh, man, me have one main one is me, is my network support system. You know what I'm saying? When you have people out here that love you unconditionally, and I use that word unconditionally, meaning they accept you for everything you've done, who you are, the flaws that you possess, the scars you got on your face, everything. You know what I'm saying? And they're still there. That's unconditional love. You have to, at no point, you have to realize that that's meaningful.
I'm going to say something to that, though, right? Because we've always had that, right? Mm-hmm. Like you had your grandfather, you had your grandma, you had your sisters growing up. We always had that. Yeah. But I think it's more so we still end up making decisions that send us to prison, even though we had our support system, but we gave all our love to the homies, as opposed to the ones who never would leave our side.
Exactly.
So when you say that family support is what keeps you out here, it's more so changing who you depend on or who you give that love and that loyalty
being able to recognize,
because they've always been there. They never left your side.
See what happened with me, right? I'm gonna say this, and I'm only gonna say this because I really believe that this is why I say that. I started feeling the love from my family. You dig what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you know, like people tell you they love you, your family tell you they love you all the time, right? But as you grow older and you start to become aware of people's emotions, their feelings, what their intentions are, right? You can see the love. You can feel it. Because there were points in time where we didn't feel love. You know what I'm saying? But you can feel it. When somebody loves you, bro, you can feel it.
It's an action word.
It's an action word, bro. You know what I'm saying? So for me to go through the things that I did and go through in life and start to realize, man, you know what, man? I ain't never, ever been denied nothing from my family, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's love. And also you becoming aware of who you are as a man.
Yeah.
I know who I am, bro. That's why I push the way that I push. I don't need a whole bunch of guys or go on my own. I'd rather be on my own. You know what I'm saying? because I understand and know who I am as a man, you know, and those are the tools that are essential for me. You know what I'm saying? To continue forward my success, amongst a few other tools that I learned along the way in my support self-help support groups.
Okay, so this is the Post P Chronicles. So what are your plans now, post incarceration?
Oh man, continued youth mentorship. You know what I mean? I'm involved in that. Just try to give them, man, a different perspective than what they see in their immediate area. You know what I'm saying? Because I was a part of the immediate area. Now, I'm no longer in that immediate area, and I want to give them an example. You know what I'm saying? Something that they can look at. You know what I'm saying? And be like, you know what? Scratch their head before they make that decision to go do what we once did. Right. You know what I'm saying? Man, continue with my career. You know, that's my main thing, man.
What's your career?
I'm trying to do that right now with the Iron Workers Local 229 Iron Workers Union.
All right.
You know what I mean? So I'm finna dip my toe in that and try to establish my future, man. Because my thing is I'm getting out, man, at 42. You know, and I don't have a lot of time to sit back and live paycheck to paycheck. You know what I'm saying? And try to put money away.
Right.
You know what I mean? For the future. You know what I mean? So my thing is, I see myself, if it all works out, working another 18 to 20 years, I can have enough, you know, something stacked away and kick my feet up for a couple months and take somebody on a vacation, man.
Let me ask you something, man, because I tell you this all the time, man. Your story is incredible. We just scratched the surface of who you are. Right. You know what I'm saying? And the person that I know, because I didn't know the old Morgan. You know what I'm saying? I know the man right here, and man, I love this guy. You know, he's a good man. Right. You know, so this good man, if he could talk to his younger self, that younger kid, and you said he didn't have anybody to look up to, what would be the main thing you would say to him or any other kid that was going through the same things that we went through? What would you say to him?
What would I say to him? To me?
Yeah, what would you say to this guy right now?
First of all, I'd ask him, what are you doing? What are you trying to get out of this? What are you getting out of this that you can't get over here without all the consequence that comes with this? You know? Do you need me to be in your life?
He do.
You know what I'm saying? Do you need me to come kick it with you? You need me to go take you somewhere you need, you know what I mean? Do you need somebody to spend time with? Because I'm here. I just want to be available. You know what I mean? To people. You know what I'm saying? Because they wasn't available. I didn't have that people, that structured individual available to me. You know what I'm saying? Or I did, but I didn't utilize it. You know what I'm saying? I ran away from it. I ran to the streets. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man.
Would your younger self have listened to you?
That's one thing anybody tell you. No. Morgan always listen. He may not do what you feel like you're telling him to do, but he will respect you enough to listen to you. You know what I'm saying? I think that's where I gained a lot of my knowledge from, because I always listen. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, my dad always say, make your own decisions, man. Don't let another person tell you what to do. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times a person telling you to do something because they don't want to do it. You know what I'm saying? So I always listen to you. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to utilize my smarts and view this from over here and see if what you're really saying is what it is. You know what I mean? So, yeah. I've always been a listener. I always listen. You know? Yeah.
No, that's what's up, man.
Yeah.
You know, your story is awesome.
Right.
And obviously I think telling your story is just as valuable and helping so many people around need to hear this because, you know, 23 years isn't a chump change, right?
Nah,
you're recollecting and refining yourself at what did you say, 41 years old? 42. And you're now just starting this life out. And but it's amazing to see, you know, the Morgan I've met since the day I saw you from the MCRP program. Oh, Morgan's a great guy. Yeah. You know what I mean? This guy looks like he's full of wisdom. Yeah. He thinks before he speaks. He doesn't look angry. He's very, you know, level-headed. Right. You know, I see the way your demeanor, the way you carry yourself. Yeah. I can tell from what you said you were you're not the same guy anymore.
Nah.
And that's what I love to see. You know, I love to see, I wasn't there, but I love when doing all this, the light bulb goes off in someone's mind, like, I don't want to be on this path anymore.
No.
And they make the change, you and Will. And those are the things that we obviously want to encourage others. But you know, even better is me and Will are excited about your story that's yet to be written.
Right.
The Post P Chronicles. And what's coming for you, I think, is obviously way better than what's happened to you. And I know me and Will are excited to see. And I know Will's one of your closest friends. So it's cool that we're going to get to witness the journey.
I'm on a ride with you, bro.
Yeah. You know, like, since being out, man, there's been so many opportunities, man, to things that had doors in front of them that are opening now. So many eligible people that are able to help me. Like, I didn't think it was possible. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I have a lot of support. You know what I'm saying? In places that I never would have thought. So, like, I don't want to, like, you disappoint them people, let alone disappoint myself.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Because I was the one having conversations with myself when I was in prison before I got out on what I need to do to stay out, you know?
One thing I want to, before we close out, I just want to shine light on something. Like, what is or has been the most difficult thing for you since you've been out? What has been the most difficult thing?
It may not seem, well, me, I guess you could say, man, being in crowded places, you know? I'm used to a small day room, either the top chair's out, and the bottom chair's in the cell, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Ain't nothing but 14 people out there at the most, and you know them all, and you're watching them all anyway, you know what I'm saying? But I go out here to the mall, you know how we be, bro, how it was? I go,
Yeah.
hey, man, what's
Yeah,
up?
you still kind of
You know
got
what
that
I'm
little
saying?
bit.
Yeah, because it's like,
sometimes.
you know, because in there, man, like, you slipping, bro. Like, a person come behind you, slice your throat, or stab you in the neck, or however the case may be. So your whole thing is, man, I'm protecting my neck, bro. You know?
Yeah.
And out here, you don't have to be like that.
Right.
But I'm still adjusting to being out here. I did 23 years in there. I only been out here almost 5 months.
It's gonna take some
It
time.
didn't take 5 months for me to develop this sense of awareness.
Yeah.
I watch everything, Steve, bro. You get me, bro. I'm gonna catch me slipping. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
Man.
but I think that's the most difficult thing, man. Is just being comfortable
Right.
in my element, in my environment, around people that are comfortable being in their environment. I don't want to be the only one standing out all stiff and like looking. You know what I'm saying? So
Mad dogging people.
yeah, I don't know.
Well, man, I appreciate you coming through, Morgan. And like Steve said, this is Post P Chronicles, and our whole goal of Post P Chronicles is to basically highlight the stories of people post incarceration, but not just anybody, just to show that life is good.
Yeah.
There's great things ahead of us.
Right.
You know, and you can do good and still have fun out
Right.
here, you know,
Yeah.
and basically just change the narrative, man. We just changing the narrative.
That's it, man.
So we
I'm
thank you
glad.
for coming through. Thanks for the time. Thanks for sharing your story.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, that's a wrap.
I'm Will,
And this is Steven.
and this is Post P
P
Chronicles.
Chronicles.